Hello Leo, this is going to be your October 2019 reading. I hope you're having a good day. October 23rd, the Sun enters Scorpio, and on October 13th there will be a full moon in Aries. Also, Chiron will be retrograde for a while, so you can feel free to check your chart. I believe it was my August video, I talked about how the rest of 2019 would be heavy, and so I thought it would be nice if for the month of October we worked on a guidance portion of your readings to see if we could help focus on you. We are not focusing on exes or business. You can plug it into that portion of your life if you need to, but we're focusing on you and where you can improve and move forward to help you get over these things if they are bothering you. All right, Leo. I do see some things here for trust, long-term trust. You may have felt betrayed. And this may have thrown you into a very strange headspace. You may have reevaluated if you wanted to be close to people at all. You may have had a situation that you really thought was going to last a long time. You may have built a lot of your life circumstances around it, and when it changed, this really put you in a headspace of where am I now? What does my world look like now? Where do I go from here? This is where you are. Leo, excuse me. You know, your whole headspace may have just been turned around where you may be questioning yourself, questioning other people. That's a lot. That's a funny space to be in, Leo. You know, and I don't think, based on this reading for some of you, Leos, that the thought of reclaiming your power is necessarily at the forefront of your mind. I think for some of you it's really just about grappling with the mysteries of how this part of your life came to be and what role you play in it. You know, I was listening to a lecture by a psychologist, and he was talking about and the reason I'm not mentioning the person's name is because there's been some controversy around it, and I want to focus more on a portion of this message that I thought was important. I'm happy to link it if anyone asks, or at least give you the person's name, but for the sake of this reading, he talked about when something happens like that, when a person feels deceived, you know, one of the things that happens, and I've heard this in many other places, you know, part of what happens is it makes you not only question your relationships and how they work, but it makes you question yourself, because now you're thinking, how did I not see the signs of this happening? Now, what they didn't talk about, which I'm going to talk about here, is, you know, how does that slow your spiritual growth or your journey? You know, because it puts you, I mean, this is the order I I drew the cards in. You know, we went from here, from this night to this night. You know, you're galloping through on a fast-paced horse, you know, through an oasis. And now you're here, you're on a slower horse, and it's a desert spiritually, and that's problematic. You know, you also have a different type of weapon. You have a sword, you're cutting through everything fairly quickly. Now you have a club, that's a blunt and certainly a crude thing, because your vision now has been blurred, you're taken off guard, and you are just willing to poke, prod, knock off anything in your path. And Leo, I think this is where some of you are. You know, your whole, basically your forward momentum right now has come to a standstill. You're not going backward, you're not going forward, you're just absolutely stopped. And you are re-evaluating really big concepts in your life that you thought prior to this time were good and set and stable. And now you are feeling like that has been turned upside down. There may be divorce for some, or just the concept of your faith in people and how they behave. That's a lot, Leo. That's a lot to digest. If you have to reevaluate your entire system of how you deal with people, look at people, interact with them, how much information you give them, if you have to be concerned about what they do with that information. Here, this is very much about, you know, trust and being burned or backstabbed. This is a lot, Leo. This is also about shutting yourself down internally, a sort of a numbing yourself, you know, because not only in these circumstances are we concerned about whoever's on the other side, if this is a friend, loved one, a family member, but we know that we are being judged and discussed with many people. Like you're sort of on a stage now when you go through something. Here, as I'm saying this, the judgment card comes up. Right, so you are on a stage, and you may be thinking, I mean, of course you're only guessing what people are thinking about you, but that's still a lot. And I think here for you, Leo, what we want to do is give you a place, Death card coming up, Magician card coming up, Fool card coming up, Justice card coming up. That's a lot, Leo. Leo, this is a total reset. So this goes from a 1 to a 13. These are very significant numbers in astrology. And you go from a 0 to an 11. These are also significant numbers. I think this is a two-part message, Leo. I think what we're talking about is the ending of one cycle, the beginning of the next. This doesn't mean that your life overnight goes into some wonderful portion, but I think what we want to do is give you just a little bit of space in between to catch your breath, so that you can even begin to consider this, that one thing might be ending and the beginning of something else is possible. the Hierophant coming up, the Devil coming up, and the Star. Again, Leo, this is a really, this is a lot. Again, I think this talks about, you know, you going inward and grappling with that concept of, you know, even thinking about these cycles breaking in half like that. You may be forced to confront some other things. Be careful about that self-talk, Leo, and how you treat yourself during this time. Again, that a safe space, I think, is very important for you now about whatever is happening in your life, Leo. Really give yourself some room. We have the Moon. And this talks about cycles, talks about intuition. You know, that's where you want to be. You want to be in a quiet space where your intuition can function. This is the Butterfly. It's transformation. And the Hourglass that talks about patience and time. You can be gentle with yourself right now, Leo. Give yourself some time to consider what's happening. Ask your angels. Came up, Leo. Let's do one more for you. You know, because angels can see more than you can. If you are overwhelmed right now, go to whatever space you believe in for the universe and perfect timing. You know, when you're ready to get to that place, you will. And when the universe is ready to move you to the next place, it will. So, you know, the best thing for you to do right now, Leo, I think will be to sit tight. Just maybe let yourself move through your emotions at your own pace. And that could be a beautiful thing. There's a thing in society now about driving to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And sometimes it's good to just sit. Leo, thank you so much for sitting with me. If you'd like to leave a little sun or a moon emoji, letting me know that this affected you or touched you, that would be nice. Anything else that you'd like to do with the channel? Subscriptions, everyone knows how to do that. Just support each other in the comments, and we'll talk to you soon.